It's okay though.
Welcome back to another episode of Jab and Slip. It's your boy Czar, aka George. You know what I'm saying? I got CJ the Tech in the building.
Y'all know what it is, man. We back again. It's just us two in the building today.
Two-man episode today. Shout out Mike. Shout out Ronnie. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't be here today, but they're with us.
Ronnie just came back from the DR, so you know he recovering.
You know what I'm saying?
He's doing a super recovery right now.
Have you ever been to one of those resorts with like the open bars and stuff?
No, man, not yet. And I don't want to go to the open bar at all because you know what happens when you go to the open bar, man.
Trust me, every time
one drink turns into two starts to multiply real quick.
Yeah. The thing is, like, when you go on the resort, there's not much to do besides drink all day, go on the beach, go to like the couple activities. Restaurants.
Just lay low. But that's what vacation's for, right? It's kind of like take away from the everyday life and like kind of just go somewhere to just do nothing. And then when you go somewhere to do nothing, you find yourself wanting to do something.
Oh, 100%, bro. Every single time.
What a crazy world we live in, though. Yo, random. You ever see those You ever see that avatar thing that everyone's doing on Instagram?
What with the AI generated
with the
image?
AI generated?
I see that.
Tell me that's not the craziest shit ever,
bro. It makes people look like superheroes.
Yeah, and I was thinking about it today. I'm like, it's funny. People will glorify what they will look like in the metaverse. And they're like, oh, I look so good, but they don't feel good about themselves how they feel in real life. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's kind of deep.
It's real though. It's real though. I mean, everyone hopped on the wave just because they wanted to see what they look like in the metaverse.
Yeah.
Right. But it's like, focus on what you look like in real life. Like, don't worry about what you look like in the metaverse. Cause they do those things for a reason. Like, they understand why people hop on like trends like that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And everyone wonders why they these companies know us so well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because as soon as one person does the trend, everyone does the trend. It's like, guys, like, chill. You don't got to follow everybody.
Focus on the universe. You know what I'm saying?
Focus on the universe. Real shit.
It's the same with those filters. Like a lot of people add these filters that enhance their image, enhance their looks.
Right. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. And that's why everyone kind of like, especially for the younger generation, like they don't feel comfortable in their own skin. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, and don't get me wrong, these companies know exactly what will go on. Like they know exactly what they're doing. It's not like it's like brand new to them, But my whole point to it is like, sometimes we gotta, especially like, the year's almost done. So we really gotta look into things that, keep us real. In an ever-changing world. Like, I don't know if you saw, but there's apparently anyway, there's like incubators where you can create your own child now.
Oh, I seen that.
Yeah.
Two babies.
Yeah, you can have like two babies. You can create the height, the weight, the color. So it's like, we're getting to the point where the Matrix isn't that far away.
We're in it already.
So, just keep it real out there, guys.
Yo, speaking on the new year, do you have any resolutions? Do you do the New Year's resolutions, or you kind of just like...
It's just another day.
Year?
It's just another day for me. It's just another day. Like, when you're younger, like, you go and you party, you drink and whatever. But like now at this point, it's just like, it's just another day for me. I wake up and it's just another day. And I think people put too much emphasis on like the whole New Year's resolution. But we try to go for these big goals and be like, oh, well, this year I'm going to do this year I'm going to. No, you start by changing small things, small habits. You know what I mean? And they have a trickle effect into everything else.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I'm trying to start my New Year's resolution prior to New Year's, so I'm already going into the New Year's resolution.
you fighting in 2023.
Yeah, yo, and I gotta quit the bogeys, bro. Yes. I can't lie. I've had this like long relationship with cigarettes like since like I was 18, 19. Throughout university, I was smoking them. Then I stopped for like 2 years, a year and a half, and then when I came back from Turkey, I just started smoking bogeys again.
Yeah.
And man, like it definitely gives me like pleasure, but I know I'm not like the best version of myself, at least like physically with my cardio and stuff.
It's amazing. That's a good point. It's amazing things that bring us pleasure don't really contribute to our happiness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because even myself too, I've struggled with certain things that bring me pleasure, but not everlasting happiness. You know what I mean?
Sometimes harmful.
Something as simple as like a bogey, you know what I mean? And you're like, I shouldn't be smoking. Like everyone knows what they shouldn't be doing, but it's making your lifestyle and making your mindset into the position where it's like, I'm no longer doing that. I don't need to do that because now I've made my life like this. You know what I mean? But it's a journey. You know what I mean? And you being real about it with yourself is the most important part about it.
Yeah, so, soon come 2023. Yo, speaking on fighting,
Yes.
there was a big fight this weekend.
Yeah, big fight on PBC boxing. We had Michael Rivera and we had Frank Martin go head to head, which was a big fight at 135 because both fighters are coming in undefeated. So, they both put up their zeros, which I don't see why everyone's so thing on losing a zero. Not everybody is gonna go through their entire career without losing a fight. In fight losing, especially Michael Rivera only being 24 years old and having his first loss against a very, very elusive, stylistically Frank Martin, he had no answer. You know what I mean? Michael Rivera had no answer, and Michael Rivera is nice. By the way, he looks exactly like Muhammad Ali.
He does, bro. You show me that. I was
to a T. He looks like Muhammad Ali. You know what I mean? So I think this fight is going to be great for both fighters in terms of their growth. Frank Martin putting on an amazing performance all rounds. Every round was a performance. His movement was slick. He was working behind the jab. Rivera was just trying to hit him with that right hand, and Martin figured that out by the third round and dropped Rivera in the seventh round, I believe, with a beautiful 2-punch combination. But it went 12 rounds.
Wow.
It went 12 rounds, and it's a great fight at 135. It'll be interesting to see where both of their careers go from here. Again, Michael Rivera only being 24 and he's undefeated. He lost against Frank Martin. That's nothing to hang your head for or be shamed about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not like a big L.
No, it's not a big L. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting. I think whoever won that fight was mandatory to fight Tank, I believe. That's what they were talking about. It'll be interesting to see if Rivera can come back and maybe fight Lopez. Because Lopez needs another W, and I think that'd be a really good fight between both fighters. It'd be interesting to see if Devin Haney gets into the conversation with Frank. It'd be interesting to see if if Tank and Garcia, after the Tank and Garcia fights one of that. We'll see. That 135 division is very heated. It's very interesting. So it was a great fight, great performance on both fighters, man.
It's interesting that a lot of sports have physical requirements.
Yeah.
But I find with boxing, maybe soccer too, you don't have to be the biggest guy to be a superstar. You don't have to be this physical giant or this huge person. These guys are 125, 135, 145.
They're smaller than us.
Yeah, you see them in real life, you'd be like, this is just a small dude.
It's just a small dude. And that's why I always explain to people, that's why weight classes are so important, because when you understand, even if you're 125 pounds, even if you're just 130 pounds, but you understand how to generate that power from your body to contort your body in a way, to turn your body and rotate your body in a way to throw all 125 pounds for a punch, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Somebody's going down. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why weight classes are so important. So yeah, the guys at 125, compared to us, they're they look small. But take a shot from them. I remember I was helping this guy get ready for his pro fight at Ajax Boxing Club, and we did a few rounds, and he was I believe he was 135, maybe 140, I believe, maybe even lighter. But me and him fought, and I was at 160 at the time, and he hit me, bro. And I felt that in my big toe.
Jeez.
He just understood how, and when you fight a pro, they know how to, they don't just hit you, they know how to make connection. They know how to connect their shots together, put their stuff together and set it up. So when they hit you, it was predetermined a long time ago.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So they don't need to be big. He was smaller than me. And he floored me, bro. I had to take a knee. I was like, hold on a second. You know what I mean? Yeah, bro. So yeah, you don't have to be the biggest person. That's why I always tell some of these guys that, come to the gym and they say they want to get bigger. It's you don't need muscle. You need mind. You need IQ. You need balance. You need to understand ring awareness, and all that comes with experience, right?
You're speaking on, athletes that aren't big physically. Lionel Messi finally won his first World Cup.
Here we go. We go talk soccer. I'm just gonna go on record right now. I am not one of those people that act like they understand soccer just because the FIFA comes around. I'm so tired of people. Everyone's like, "Oh, you watching FIFA?" It's bro, you don't even talk about soccer.
Yeah.
We never have conversations about soccer. Now that FIFA comes around, everybody's a FIFA fan. Don't lie to yourself. If you don't watch it, don't act like you watch it because everyone else watching it. It drives me crazy.
Yo, bro, the World Cup final.
I know you be watching it though.
Yeah, I don't watch it normally, but I used to watch soccer, Bear, and I watch the big games, the big tournaments.
Yeah.
And this game was definitely one for the ages. Argentina versus France, two very high-ranked teams.
Okay.
Lionel Messi, arguably, this is going to be his last World Cup. So
how old is he?
I think he's about 36 or something.
Oh, okay.
Still in great form. So Argentina goes up 2-0 early.
Right.
France is getting dominated. They don't have any shots on target or anything up until like the 75th, 80th minute. And out of nowhere, so Argentina's 2 up. They have 10 more minutes and they can just secure the World Cup in a dominating fashion.
Secure the bag.
Then Mbappe, France's star child, you know what I'm saying, drops 2 goals in like 2 minutes, ties it up.
Pressure.
The momentum switches. Now France is kind of on the attack. They go into extra time. Argentina scores. France equalizes. Once again, Mbappe. So it's 3-3. Now they're going into penalties. And Argentina took it on penalties.
That's crazy. We just got a play-by-play from George. Y'all give that man a round of applause. That was a dope play-by-play. I was there.
A good summary.
I was there. That was a great ass summary. I was there. You see me, I was quiet as hell. I was picturing that shit in my head.
And you know, France were prior to Argentina, they were the champions.
Yeah.
They won 4 years ago. And you know, a lot of people are questioning whether or not it was rigged or not for Messi, because the first penalty that Argentina was granted, the way they scored their first goal, was arguably not a foul. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like a questionable penalty. Like, it could have went either way.
You know, it's crazy. Like, I didn't watch the game. I really don't watch soccer, but it's funny. We live in a world now where like everything that happens, it's like, is it fake?
Yeah.
Like everything, even when what's his name? Jake Paul fought what was his name?
Anderson Silva.
Yeah. Everyone's like, oh, well, was it rigged? Like we question, like there's so much shit that we think is fake that we just question everything now.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing we don't question anymore. But nobody questions the news when they pull out some bullshit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's just crazy. Like that, I didn't watch the game. I might go back and watch it now because that was a really good recap.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, like some things are just what it is.
Yeah. It's
you know
true.
what I mean? Like some things are just what it is. Like you can't, I don't know how you would rig a boxing fight unless you guys pay each other like, okay, yo, I'm going to knock you out in the 7th round. Mm-hmm. Then maybe so.
Well, interestingly enough, there's another case. So this former fighter, and he's a coach in the UFC, James Krause.
Yeah, okay.
He had this podcast where he would pretty much give people the bets for UFC, right? And he was very open about it. He's like, yeah, like I have this like Discord, you pay me money and I'll give you like the bets. And he's normally pretty accurate.
Wow.
But what started happening, apparently,
right,
is that he started betting like on or against his own fighters, and he's a coach, right?
Of course.
So there might be like a integrity issue there, and all of a sudden, like Ontario, Alberta, like they started like banning UFC betting. I don't know if you saw that recently.
No, I never did. And it's funny because Ontario's like really opening up betting now when it comes to sports and stuff like that now too, right?
It's one of the biggest markets for like UFC betting is Canada,
wow.
United States and Canada. And like there was this issue. Now he's kind of banned from coaching, I believe, but he was just very accurate with his predictions, and
now they're questioning that too. Like, yo, that's a little sus. That's a little suspect.
Yeah, because there was one of his fighters who he went down, and apparently he had an injury before.
Right.
But some people are suspecting that his coach, who's known for betting, told him to kind of like lose it.
Right, so he can win some money.
Yeah, listen, they're all allegations, but
you never know.
Yeah,
listen, we were having this conversation off camera too. Like, yo, the world is a very like questionable and dark place. You know what I mean? It is. There's a lot of things that go down behind the scenes, especially at the highest level of any industry.
Trust me.
You know what I'm saying? Of any industry at the highest level, shit is dark. Like we won't even get into the whole like, but just look at the whole Balenciaga thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, they're putting out pictures of children and BDSM and you know, it's just a very strange world in a sense. So we have to be very wary of the things that we represent for ourselves, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, like it was terrible for the brand, but a year from now, nobody's gonna talk about it. Because there's always something else going on. There's always something else that's new. There's always something, because the world is moving so fast and information is so easily accessible.
Yeah.
That one big news, it just passes.
Yeah. No,
you know
absolutely. And I think adding to your point that like, you know, whenever something happens, we think maybe it's rigged. A lot of like sports there's a lot of like mafia involved, and they might go approach a ref and say, look, we'll give you this money to do XYZ, or we could kill your family.
Whichever one you want.
Yeah, like it might be in your best interest
to make sure you give this guy a call.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true.
And that's happened before. That's happened in the NBA. That's happened in soccer.
That's crazy.
At the end of the day, money talks. So a lot of these people with money are able to control the outcomes.
Yes.
And that's why even Rick Rubin, he did an interview. They're like, yo, like, why do you like WWE so much? He's like, yo, WWE is more like reality. Even though it's so scripted, it's like our reality is scripted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's such a good point, actually.
Yeah, it's like
that is such
the
a good
world
point.
is more like WWE
than anything else.
Yeah,
yes. No, that's true. That's true. That's why I never understood why people are so against guys like Jay Paul coming to boxing. Be like, oh, well, they're not real boxers. Well, it's a different side of boxing. Like, but it's still a reality of the way the world is right now. And that's such a good point. You know, I grew up on, you know, WWF, old school, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ray Mysterio days, WCW, Hulk Hogan, The Rock. You know, my age is showing. Like, I'm in my 30s now, so it's like, but you know, like, there's people that even know wrestling before that, and they were like, our shit wasn't that good. It wasn't that, but our shit was like,
we had the best era of wrestling.
We had the best era. We had the best era. But it's so true. Even that era, it was as scripted as it was. The wrestlers themselves actually had a lot of leeway.
Yeah,
they actually had a lot of leeway. Now it's like they're literally reading a script.
Yeah,
now they're reading a script, but before they had the leeway.
But the reason why I respect WWE now, because I feel like everyone goes through a phase. You're like super into WWE when you're young because you think it's real. Like you're convinced everything is real. Then you find out it's fake, and you're like, yo, I'm not dealing with that. I'm off it. But then when you grow up, and then like you're an adult again, you're like, oh, like you understand the entertainment value. Because at the end of the day, you can watch a real fight and not be entertained. Or you can watch a fake fight
and be entertained.
Because there's the drama involved. There's a storyline.
And also there's drama and story, and also there's the nostalgia.
Yeah.
There's a nostalgia of we kind of remember
those days we liked
wrestling. And things were just a little more simpler. We were a little more simpler. You know what I mean? So it's the nostalgia involved in all that.
Speaking on that nostalgia, are there any shows that you used to watch as a kid that you might still watch now when you're trying to like?
Oh, don't do that to me on camera,
those shows,
bro.
I have those shows that like I've seen every episode and I could still watch it and be entertained.
So it's funny. I was chilling Saturday night after my sparring session, and I go home and I disconnect from boxing. People think I'm always watching boxing. I watch it probably like 85% of the time, but the rest of the times I'm watching something completely different.
Yeah, you escape.
Yeah, I escape. So I was watching Spawn. Do you remember the old Spawn series?
I never even seen that.
Oh, so Spawn was this really old series, and it was very mature back in the day, like extremely mature. It was like a cartoon back in like the Spider-Man days and stuff like that. I was watching a Spawn series. I watched Mortal Kombat over the weekend. I would go back and watch like old video games that I used to play.
Yeah.
I go back and watch like I used to play this card game called Yu-Gi-Oh! Some people don't even know what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, bro.
That's a throwback.
Yeah, that's a major throwback. And all in the sense of, number one, nostalgia. Yeah. Right? And number two, it's good to take your mind away from what you want to excel at, because the mind has a very finicky way of, if you see something or you watch something too much, it becomes boring.
Yeah.
Or it becomes like, it stops having the same effect. Yeah. Right? So you have to kind of like switch your brain on and off from it. Yeah. So sometimes I'll just go back and watch like old ass TV shows that I used to watch as like a 12-year-old. You know what I mean?
Me too, bro.
Yeah.
For me, that show is Smart Guy.
Smart Guy. I remember Smart Guy.
Smart Guy for me. I've seen every episode many times. But they're like, I can always just turn back to that show if I want to just tune out and be entertained.
What about Fresh Prince?
Fresh Prince was, I didn't grow up on Fresh Prince. It was a little before my time. I watched it afterwards. But Smart Guy is like every single episode I've seen. I know what's gonna happen. Yeah, but I'm still entertained.
You're still entertained to watch it because
it's such a good show too.
It's a nostalgia, right? But we need that. We need that disconnect. You know what I mean? Especially now with like so much ish going on and this, that, and the third. You need to kind of just like be in your own realm.
Yeah, it's good to give your mind a break.
You have to, because you come back and you reset. I come back and I watch boxing and it's like I'm relearning I re-see things, I re-understand things, and then I go back and I'm able to train my students better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because I've switched off my mind.
Superbad is a movie for me that I can always just
remember
watch,
Superbad,
and I'm always just so entertained. I already know the line that's gonna happen. But
I remember Superbad.
The delivery always like kills me, bro.
Yo, why did he choose McLovin though? Like of all names. Yo, of all names, this man really
what
chose.
What are you, an Irish R&B singer?
Yeah, I know. McLovin? You could have chose something like Muhammad. Like,
is he the dad of Muhammad?
That was hilarious.
Yo, speaking of giving your mind a break, maybe people don't know this about me. Maybe they do, but one of my guilty pleasures is reality TV.
Reality TV.
I watched the new Too Hot to Handle recently.
Okay.
And it's not even like my girl's making me watch it. I'm watching.
You're watching.
I'm making her watching it.
All right.
But what she put me onto was this show called Baddies of the South.
Hold on. Say that one more time.
Baddies of the South.
Baddies of the South. That shit just sounds like someone I want to watch.
Yo, so there used to be this show called Bad Girls Club, and it was pretty much like a house full of girls who like claim to be bad bitches.
All right.
And they would just
we're gonna have to put the social term for bad bitches.
Yeah, I don't even know what the social term would be. Yeah. But my girl put me onto the show, and Krishan Rock, who is Blueface's girlfriend.
Yeah, I know her.
She's in it. And man, I was thoroughly entertained. It was a bunch of these girls. And I'm not gonna lie, like they do focus on like, I guess, quote unquote urban culture. Like there was one white girl,
mainly black people, people.
It's literally all black people, and there's that one white girl that's like sort of black too. Yes, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, because they have to have that one. They have to have that one. There's always that one in the group.
Yeah, and man, this show, it's just full of like these girls beefing with each other, fighting, and then they go out to clubs and like do appearances, whatever. And man, I was thoroughly entertained. Like there was so much drama, and it reminded me of
Were they fighting? Like,
when they fight, bro, their titties come out. Like it's not. I'm not even watching it for that. You know what I'm saying? But like they really be fighting. Their wigs be going everywhere.
They really be scrapping like that.
They scrap, bro. And like Krishan Rock knows how to fight. The rest of the girls like don't really know how to fight. And
you need to learn how to box. Like
man, we'll try to train one of these girls to do a fight.
Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy.
And man, this show really like my girl watched every single episode, and I would just tune in with her, and I'm like, man, like, I was thoroughly entertained.
You know what it is? There's nothing more at its core. There's nothing more entertaining for humans than to watch another human fight.
Yeah,
and just over some like just super
anything
ignorant ass like
it could be a diss, like someone violates you and you want to see the fight.
Not even that serious. Yeah. Just they walk through the door the wrong way or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they go fight. Like there's an entire show on guys giving up parking tickets. Like that's how easily. You ever watch that show? No. I remember this.
I would hate that show. I've gotten so many parking tickets in my life.
Fam, when you live in Toronto, you can't get away from it. But there's legit a show, and all they do is this guy just gives up parking tickets, and people will fight him, travel down. They'll follow him in their whip, like, and scrap him, like, you're not giving me this fucking parking ticket. Like, bro, like there's nothing more entertaining to the human psyche than watching people fight. And there's nothing more entertaining than watching a really ghetto ass show of a bunch of girls just scrapping at each other. Like that shit is gonna be entertaining. Bro,
it was mad entertaining. It made me realize, we were talking about this off air, like even with Jersey Shore, like Jersey Shore was such a big phenomenon when we were younger. Like it was high school days for me.
Yeah, I remember Jersey Shore.
And what I realized is the best parts of Jersey Shore, the ones that went the most viral, was when there was either fighting involved or like sex involved.
Yeah, because those are the two things everyone loves to watch.
It's so primal.
It's got to be a fight, or it's got to be about sex. Everything else was just like, oh, okay, they were just
waiting to that part. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like they would leave the fights, or like them pulling girls to like, on the next episode, like right at the end.
And keep in mind, the show producers, the people on the show themselves knew exactly what the show had to be about, because other than that, that's just boring. Like everyone else that was watching the show, their life was boring. Like many people, life is boring for a lot of people. So to watch something like that is way more enticing.
You feel like you're a part of it. I think that even speaks to like why we like fighters or fighting. Like sometimes we wish, like Conor McGregor, sometimes you wish you had that confidence, that arrogance, that like, that ego that he would bring to the press conferences, or him shit talking. Like, I feel like for a lot of people, it gave them like participation in that,
Right. Well, that's why they always say like where styles make fights, the energy makes the fights, the shit talking makes the fights, because people want to be entertained.
Yeah.
What did Gypsy King say one time? He said, "Are you not entertained?"
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's all it's about. Tyson Fury knows exactly what's going on. Did you see him at the end of his last fight against Usyk? Usyk came up to the ring, and Tyson's just talking bare shit in his face, call him a pussy, call him a little ugly rabbit, call him this and that, because they know as long as they're talking shit, everybody's gonna want to see that fight.
Yeah.
As long as they're doing what they got to do on the mic, everyone's gonna want to see that fight. So when a really boring, high quality fight like Devin Haney comes on, he don't got to talk no shit. His fighting speaks for himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wonder if it's because like maybe our primal brain, when we see conflict, right, you're observing it and you almost have this fight or flight instinct, like, yo, could
survival.
this blow up?
Yeah, survival.
You're like, yo, what's gonna happen here?
Yeah.
And especially because you're detached from it, you're watching on TV, you choose fight in the sense where it's like, I'm gonna partake in this by watching it, as opposed to like running away from the TV. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna sit there and watch. But even if you see a fight on the street, like there's a big, like I've seen fights on the street and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna ignore it. But there's a huge part of me, bro, where I'm just like,
you need to see what happens.
I need to see if someone will knock the fuck out. Let me just see. Right? It's just it's innate in you. Like even our coach at the gym, we were talking about it the other day after sparring. He goes, you have to understand, like, we come together in conjugation to punch each other in the face. Like that's what humans do. Like that's what we're entertained by. And he was giving us all this crazy history about all this barbaric shit they used to do to entertain each other back in the day, bro. If you heard some of the shit that we used to do to entertain ourselves back in the day, bro, you'd be like, wow. Today's nothing.
Yeah, bro. Back in the day, it's like you lose if you die. It's literally like you're putting your life on the line.
On the line. You know what I mean? The Roman Empire like was freaking like barbaric.
That's pretty much what we channel. You even look at the arenas, the way the arenas are shaped, or like the Coliseum arenas. It is literally like built for that. That it's pretty much a way to sublimate that war. Like you're kind of channeling the instinct for war without going full on war, but these two people are willing to put their lives on the line. That's why they were so revered. Like if you were a fighter back in the day, man, you were pretty much worshipped.
Us as humans, we've basically made the world a playground to promote our primal instincts. Yeah, whether that be through sports, through TV, through any genre,
even like sexual imagery,
everything, right? And it plays on the human mind, no matter how conscious you are about it. Subconsciously, we all kind of crave that a little bit. It's almost a little dangerous, right? And that's the truth. And that's the truth about it, right? And the more that you understand and the more knowledgeable you are about it, the more you can kind of like choose to go the other way or choose to control it, you know?
I think it's better to be aware of it than just blindly into it. Like, because you even think about these like rap stars or singers, like it's almost like they're your tribal chief. Imagine that. Like you're living with your tribe, and there's this one dude or one person that like
that runs the whole.
They run the show. Whatever they say, you listen to.
It goes.
Yeah, and you look at someone like Drake. He clearly has that effect. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
People look to him.
I mean, they say all you gotta do is push a button.
Yeah,
that's it. You know, there's certain artists that all they gotta do is push a button. Jay-Z, all he has to do is push a button. Drake, all you gotta do is push a button, right? And you know, at that level, that's how it should be. Because you know, when you rise to that place, you know, you built yourself to that point. You know what I mean? You have your entourage, you have your family, you have your people around you that help you build to that point. That like you can basically do whatever it is that you say that you want to do and pull it like that, you know?
Yeah, it's almost like, I don't even mean to sound like religious when I say this, but these idols that they're almost in between a human and a god. Like, cause say like the average common folk, we're human. And then there's God that, you know, we don't see, this like ultimate authority, supreme being. Then you have these people who are almost elevated to that God status, or at least on a human level. You know what I'm saying? Yo,
that is the best. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like we're just back on and shit like that.
Yeah, that's how you gotta.
But that's how it goes.
There's continuity now. Like,
that was fresh as hell though. That was the perfect like transition from like
it's like technical action. You know
technical difficulties, and we're back on. You know what I'm saying? So we're back here, bro.
But we are gonna wrap up anyways. It's about 25-30 minutes deep.
Yes. Appreciate you guys for tuning into another episode of Jab and Slip, man. Appreciate for all the love and support. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to that channel. Drop a comment in the comment section below, and make sure you hit us all up on IG, guys.
Yes, thanks for tuning in. Like CJ said, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, follow us on IG.
Yeah.
If you have any ideas or topics you want us to discuss,
or if you want to fight George, just
or if you're trying to fight me,
we gonna set that up. We'll set that up real quick.
Yes, but thank you for tuning in. Until next week,
we out.
Peace.